we're here to talk about the Falcon Road Project, and this is something the city has been talking about wanting to get done for literally decades, and working with the Department of Commerce, State of Oklahoma, and also with the Air Force Base, we were able to get funding to do this project, and so we're moving forward with it, and we're going to have some discussions tonight. We're here to answer your questions and talk about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how we move forward. So with that, I'm going to introduce Johnny Barron. Johnny's the engineer, city engineer, and he's going to introduce a few folks, visit a little bit and introduce a few folks, and then open it up for discussion. So Johnny, if you would.
All right. Thank you. So the photos on the screen are from the west half of Falcon Road, which was rebuilt, started in 2017 and finished in 2018. So this is the eastern half of the same project, basically. So the project that we're going to do, the road's going to look like that. It's going to be 3 lanes, two 12-foot traveling lanes on each side, and a 14-foot turn lane in the middle. And that's what the west half of Falcon Road will look like. To introduce our team, you've already heard from Gary Jones. We also have Debbie Davis, our city clerk, is here tonight. Chad Osborne, our street commissioner, is here tonight. And Chris Riffle, our director of operations, is in the back there. I'm Johnny Barron, I'm the city engineer. And who else do I have up there? Sean Connolly is our city inspector and surveyor. And not all of these team members will be involved on a day-to-day basis on this project, but a few of us will. And then the project was designed by Gary Brickley of Fox Drexler and Brickley. And Gary's in the back there, so he's our design engineer. He prepared the plans and the bid documents, and he'll have some inspecting roles as well going forward. And then the contractor that we've awarded the project to is Overland Corporation out of Ardmore. This company's been in business for 40 years, and they've paved hundreds of thousands of miles of roads. We have 4 representatives from Overland here tonight. So they are Darren Ratowski, the president, and Eric Hagee, senior vice president, Curtis Whalen, did I say that right? Or Whalen? And Michael Scott. And then we also have the superintendent of the job, who will be the day-to-day guy here in Altus when we're doing construction, is A.B. Rodriguez, and he's here on the end. So we have Mr. Rodriguez's contact information up here. This isn't your only chance to get that. So we'll be issuing another letter. We'll be giving handouts to the property owners as we go forward. I know there's some churches represented here tonight. So if everybody signed in on the sign-in sheet and you've given us an email, then we can send updates to people on the emails. There may be a governing council at the church that would rather us be in contact with rather than the pastor or whatever. So we're happy to talk to whoever wants to know about the project, but that's part of the reason for this meeting and the sign-in sheet. So if we can get your contact information, we'll be happy to keep you in touch as the project moves along. Project schedule. So we're looking at beginning work early November, maybe late October. And give or take 9 months, depending on weather or other circumstances, and maybe wrap up by the 1st of September 2026. That's the overall timeline. And so there's still a lot of details we haven't worked out with the contractors. This is our first time meeting them. We're glad they came down here tonight for this meeting. So they're here in case you have questions for them, and just so that you can get to know them a little better. I also forgot to mention we have city council person here tonight, Mr. Dash, Malcolm Dash. Thank you for coming. So we're glad to have him here. Okay, so things are still subject to change. There's still lots of details to work out. We haven't talked about them yet. Are they going to start on the west end or the east end? Which direction are they going to move? So those kind of decisions are still forthcoming, and that will be impactful for you. And so you'll want to know, when are they going to be working on my driveway? And so between AB and myself and Gary Brickley and Sean, and we'll be trying to coordinate and making sure that property owners are aware. You'll have notice before people show up and start tearing up the driveway. So we'll keep you informed as we go along. Okay, so the project is 0.9 miles of new roadway from Park Lane to Veterans, basically. And to be more specific, these yellow lines indicate where we're stopping and starting. And we have the project on the wall that you're welcome to look at in more detail. So we're connecting to good concrete on both ends. So when the Park Lane Falcon Road intersection was done, 20 years ago or whatever, so there's good solid concrete we're connecting to on the west end. And likewise, when Veterans Drive was built, there's good concrete at that intersection. So we're not trying to tear up new concrete, and those road sections are already wide enough, so we're just redoing between those yellow lines. So the intersections, those big intersections themselves won't be impacted. Falcon Road and Veterans won't have any closed lanes or anything, but there will be obviously impacts along Falcon Road. Now, who here is representing a specific property? What are y'all representing? Prince of Peace, okay. And y'all are with Family Life Christian Church? Anybody else here representing?
1401 Falcon.
Okay. That's one of those commercial properties. So I have everybody's driveway up here. I don't think I need to waste everybody's time showing all the driveways if somebody's not here for that. So I'll kind of skip over. We have 1301. 1401, the driveway here. So right now you just got a bunch of gravel in front of your business. So we are proposing, so we'll have curb and gutter down both sides of Falcon Road. So there will have to be a cut in the curb for the entrance to the driveway. So we'll be making the entrances to the driveways. And so, I don't know how well you can see, Larry. So this is your driveway at 1401. So there's a power pole here right now and then just kind of gravel on both sides. So we're showing a new 30-foot driveway.
Tony, I know we've got other time for discussion, but I do have concerns over that because I'm pulling a trailer in and around. And right now, as you know, it's got full opening. But we'll discuss that at another point. But I would like to point out that when they did the previous construction land of the pipe, they have some drainage issues that they created at that last go-around, and I know our street commissioners helped me a lot in trying to correct that. But over time, as all that sinks and settles, you know, it needs some attention. And there is a little bit of water issue through there, right next to the church on the other side. But I don't want to take the time up today, but I would like to discuss the entrance at some point. Just make note of the record that I would like to have some open discussion on the interest there.
Okay, that has been noted. I appreciate that. That's why we're having this meeting. We want that kind of feedback.
I got you.
So, thank you. And then, I guess that's all I need to say about this property. Nobody's here from 1405 or 1409 or 1413. There's one residence that's going to be impacted here, 1823 Falcon Road. Nobody's here from that address.
Is that the church property?
No, sir, that is a home way back behind the mini storage units.
Okay, I was just gonna say, there's been a recent change in the churches that flip-flop back down there, and the new congregation that's in, those folks are pretty new to all this, and I doubt very seriously. Y'all may send it to that previous owner.
Yeah, I think Freedom still owns the north
Yeah,
side stuff.
Freedom does, but the other people that are in option to buy should have,
Door.
yeah.
Well, I wondered that. So 1409 and 1413 show that it's owned by First Assembly of God.
Yeah.
They say Freedom Church on the building.
But they're changing that difference. Somebody back
Okay.
there knows more than I do.
Yeah, so Freedom, same difference, First Assembly of God, Freedom, and then the actual church across the road from that now belongs
To the door. Okay, I knew that much. All right. So I did mail letters to all the registered property owners on the tax records, and I mailed a letter to the street address in case there's a manager or somebody there. But my letters to those properties came back from the Freedom Church.
guys and let them know.
Okay. The residents, so 1701, this is the Altus mini storage. There's also a car wash here. So they're getting 4 driveways between all of this. And we're matching the driveways in most of it, except for the car wash. The car wash is just all open along the road. we're proposing to give them a real driveway. So if they have concerns about that, we're willing to listen to their concerns. Family Life Church, we have people here from Family Life. So currently we're showing a 20-foot driveway. So there's an opportunity to adjust that. So, but that pretty much matches what you have.
That goes back and covers what was tore up to put in the water line?
Yes. Yes, the water line is in the right-of-way. We'll be building a new driveway to the edge of the right-of-way line. So, yes, that's correct.
What does the water line set in conjunction with that? Is it, at the end of the driveway or back towards the main roadway?
You can see that line with the W's on it?
Yeah.
That's the water line.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, then Pear Tree Apartments, they've got 3 entrances. They shouldn't have any issue. Then there's this little strip of commercial on the other side of, this one, yeah. And Mexican restaurant. And so the project ends here, and that's a new driveway already at AAA Mini Storage. And then we have driveways on the south side. There's the Door Church. And now the Prince of Peace Church. So you've got a 3-lane driveway now. We're going to keep that same width of driveway, and there'll always be half the driveway open at all times. That's true for all these businesses. We're not going to close anybody's driveway for good or for days. Unless they have another entrance. So like Pear Tree Apartments has 3, so they may close one of them down, have it closed for a week or whatever it needs to be. But access will always be available to customers and employees and churchgoers and all that. So here's what we're showing for Prince of Peace, a 33-foot wide driveway. Now there'll also be a sidewalk on the south side of the road. So that'll be new, but that doesn't really affect your parking lot or anything. So shouldn't really be any impacts to the property by the sidewalk. Any questions? All right.
A couple of signs that are on either side of the driveway, and I'm not sure if they'll be impacted by the sidewalks or not.
So referring to the concrete signs, those curved?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this here. So the sidewalk will stay on this side of that ditch. So we don't anticipate any problems there. We will work around those signs.
Okay.
You agree with that, contractor? Okay. UUs, then we get down to rough grooming and tan ray, and that's pretty much all the driveways. We're happy to help you look more closely over here on the wall and find your property, and we're happy to stick around and answer any questions. These are the full drawings for the project, so you're welcome to browse through here. Ask questions of the contractor, the design engineer, or the city people who are here, so you're welcome to stay and as long as you need to until you're satisfied. Your questions have been documented, and you're welcome to email questions or call in. So this is not the end of the question or comment period. So if you can spread the word if you want to, then we're welcome. If the church would like us to come and talk to the governing body or make a little presentation to a committee or something, we're open to doing something like that. Yes, sir.
Johnny, you said that there'll be 2 12-foot travel lanes and 1 14-foot center turn lane.
Yes.
How wide are the proposed entrances? Are they going to vary per business, or is there a set foot that they'll be, or what?
The driveways will vary. The smallest is 20 foot wide. The largest right now is Tan Ray. It's like 160 feet.
20 foot to, okay. 20 foot to maximum, that's the smallest?
20 foot is the narrowest driveway entrance that we have on the plans.
Well, I understand it makes a difference, what the business currently is, but we also kind of need to be thinking about what the future's going to be.
Okay.
some of these businesses, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, sure. We want to know about your needs. If you're a business owner, we don't want to hurt any businesses. That's the last thing we want to do. But kind of as a general rule, if somebody didn't have a paved, maintained space and it was just gravel, then we kind of weren't looking too hard about matching what's there. But like Tanray, they've got a paved, maintained surface all the way to the street. And so we tried to match that.
I understand,
So.
of course, seeing what the previous work was, there was quite a challenge with the Firestone as their entrance, you know. That's a busy operation. And if you put, you know, restricted their entrance, it could be devastating to that business. So I applaud whoever helped get that fixed. Because at first, I remember being out there putting a narrow entrance into that business. And that just wouldn't work. But that's my biggest concern, is don't look at the current use, let's look at the long-term use too. And I assume, like an empty lot, there's not a current business there. There will not be any turn-ins to those properties. Let me give you an example. The one I'm referring to is next door to the church. Right on the other side of me. What is it? Yeah, other church, other side.
To the west side of Family Life?
No, not Family
Oh.
Life. Jehovah's Witness has that empty lot next door.
Yes.
And there's no access to that right now because there's not nothing. What happens if it goes ahead with this, someone buys that lot, will they be responsible then for a cut to put into it? Is that way that'll work?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Now, we did try to reach out to people. I don't remember who owns that lot.
Church.
It's this.
Yeah.
So we've already notified the Jehovah's Witnesses, and
Yeah, that's,
so I don't know that they need a new entrance. If they had plans and they asked for one, we would consider that.
yeah, their plans have changed, I think.
There is the Red River development happening up behind Pear Tree Apartments,
Yeah.
and they have 2 new entrances to accommodate what they're doing. Is that right, too? And we've asked George Nasani down by Polk Avenue and Mesquite Meadows. They have kind of commercial that they're kind of trying to market. We've sent a letter to them too, and if they're far enough along with their plans to know where a driveway is going to be.
That's what I was referring to.
Sorry.
You nailed it.
So we are trying to accommodate that where it's reasonable. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I just want to go back to the letter that was sent out. Says if your driveway is less than 24 feet wide, it could be closed at several days. And then you said up there that it won't be closed.
We will coordinate that with you. If you can afford for it to be closed because you only have people coming on Sundays, then we might take advantage of that. But we won't close anybody's driveway without talking to them. And so,
I have one lady that works there every day of the week.
okay.
But I'm sure she could be dropped off and walked down the hill if that driveway could be done in a week.
Yeah, we don't want her to do that.
But you'll
So,
communicate once we get close to that.
yes. Yeah, only if a property's vacant and they don't need that driveway, then we might, or if they have a second one, but in your case, you don't have a second one, we would not close that driveway if it's needed. Any other questions?
Mr. Bearman?
Everyone, Todd speaking, the president of all corporations. First and foremost, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to construct this project. This project, along with any other project that we construct, is extremely important to our company. That's what we do. That's what we do for a living. If I may, I'll just quickly introduce our team once again. So on the end here is Mr. Michael Scott. He's one of our senior estimators within our office, and he has an extensive background in the construction industry. The next to him is Micah Tolbert, he's one of our senior project administrators for us within the organization. Next to him is Mr. Eric Hagee. Eric Hagee is our senior vice president over all of our estimating and project administration. And Mr. Albatico Rodriguez, AB Rodriguez, is our division manager over all of our heavy civil operation within the organization. So just to clarify, Mr. Rodriguez will not be the superintendent on this project, but we will have a superintendent named for this project when we meet with the city to fine tune a couple of things that we need to talk about. Just briefly to talk about Overland. Overland Corporation's been in business for a little over 40 years now. Our primary office is in Ardmore, Oklahoma. We have an asphalt plant facility in Snyder, so not too far from here. like Mr. Barron said, we've paved and constructed well over hundreds of thousands worth of miles of roadway within the state of Oklahoma. We also have operations in North Texas. And like I said, we're proud to be here. And one of the things that I would mention is that through our own experience and through what we do for our livelihood, we're also just like y'all. I've been to city councilman, Mr. Dash. I know what comes with that. So all you're hoping is no phone calls. Please, no phone calls. I understand. I've been a city councilman in my past, so I should appreciate what you're about to live through. But just in the same vein, we're dads, we're husbands, we're uncles, and we're members of communities too. So we know that these projects bring a lot of grief, a lot of headache, a lot of anxiety because you don't know how the access is going to look. But I will tell you, we are fully committed to partner with the city. We're fully committed to partner with the stakeholders. We consider stakeholders anyone that has property, anyone that has an entrance, anyone that has a business or a church or anything along what we call the alignment of the roadway. But what we do hope that you all understand is that our contracts is with the city, Altus. And what that means in layman's terms is if you're a property owner, you come out and say, well, this driveway is designed to be 20 feet wide, but I'd sure like to have it 30 feet wide. Is there anything you can do to help me out? We would like to, we will work towards that, but our contract was with the city. And so we have to go through the proper channels just to make sure that we're handling things the right way, as I hope you all would expect. But we consider you all stakeholders. We're here to do the best possible job that we can. Our main goal is to build a safe project, not only for our team members at Overland, but also the team members of the city of Altus, the engineering firm this is contracted with the city, and then also the traveling public. That's our number one priority. Our second priority, very close photo finish second, is to build a quality project. So when we leave, after the project is complete, our main goal is that the city of Altus says, you know what, that Overland group was a really good group to work with. They were ethical, they were honest, they built a great project, they did it safely. It was well within our budget, and they did such a fantastic job. We hope they did on more of our work. So that's really what we're here about. And that's not smoke. Those are true, but sincere words. So we're excited about the project. Like Mr. Barron said, we have a couple of things we need to fine tune. But quite frankly, what that means is we have to have a pre-construction meeting with the city in order to kick off the contract. And so at that pre-construction meeting, we'll have our superintendent, we'll have some of our management team there. And that's where we really get into the schedule, what the dynamics of the project are really going to look like. That's where we start talking about coordinating with stakeholders, with business owners throughout the alignment. And that's where we start to begin to work through that. What does it mean for me? Do I have access? Or are you going to be able to accommodate me by building just half of my driveway at a time? Is it a full closure? That's where we really engage the stakeholder. As Mr. Barron said, in some cases, you may not have to have access to your driveway for 3 or 4 days, maybe even a week. And if that's the case, then we'll just go ahead and house banged out pretty quick. But in some instances, we may have to build it a half at a time. And those are some of the nuances that we have to work with the city. So we're excited. All these business cards here for y'all. Felt one business card of mine. Again, we're proud to be here. Looking forward to the awesome project. And Mr. Dash, we hope that you don't need any phone calls. You think that the signs are a lot different down there. They are very. That's all I have. We're stick resident. We're proud to be here. So the projects. So thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Is that we will keep traffic open both ways throughout the project. So they're going to they'll build a temporary lane on the north side and have 2 lanes of traffic on the north side while we're building the south half, and then switch traffic. We did that on the last half, if you recall. And so people should be able to get to every business and every property at all times. So that's the plan. Even when the south half of the road is under construction and we're driving on the north half, the driveways to the businesses on the south will still be maintained and people will be able to get in and out. So
I assume some of the, I drove through the other day, and I appreciate your comments on Facebook, by the way. People that bitch and gripe need to be here to talk instead of just, if they got a problem. But I noticed that the previous contractors of the other portion are coming back and doing some repairs. Am I saying that wrong? I mean, there's concrete been knocked out on the curving?
That was from
one wreck, one little car knocked all those curbs out.
Did they, really? All of that curbing was from one wreck?
It's quite a wreck.
Okay, sorry, I referred, yeah, that's it. I knew that this being repaired, and I thought, golly, that was contract.
That's not what it said on Facebook.
You didn't say it on Facebook, and I believe it.
Well, thanks everybody for coming. Stick around and ask as many questions as you like, and otherwise we're finished here.